With it. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Izzy's excited. She got her box 8 last night.
I feel like I got my soul snatched like 3 times this week.
Girl, it's been amazing, hasn't it? I woke up this morning and it was just glowing. Like, girl, I feel her. Because I woke up this morning and it was like,
the other day, he came, like the next day after OG came back. He was like, damn, you glowing like shit. I was like, am I? He was like, I must have did a good job. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, girl, I know the feeling. Daddy is in town and I am excited.
Yes.
That's good things for my spirit, for my little soul.
Speaking of daddy, what we talking about today?
Girl.
Oh, I do have a follow-up.
Okay,
right?
yeah, before we get into... Oh, yeah. So before we get into anything.
Okay, so I think it was last week, but I think it was like off air. I told you guys that I bought a pocket pussy.
Yes.
So I used it.
Yeah. What's the name? What did we name it?
So I have named it Suck 2000.
Suck 2000, bro.
I don't know. So like I don't know what I told you guys when I stuck my finger in it. I was like, oh, so is this what pussy feels like? It was kind of like, you know, I was like, I get it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh, disclaimer, Mom, I need you to skip this part. So like fast forward like 3 minutes. If you decide to listen to this episode, please skip forward, Mom.
Yes, Sister Florence.
Yeah, we don't. Right. I don't want to blush every time I see you, Miss Florence. At
exactly. I'm like, Amira. Anyway. So I bought this. So I went to the sex store because like I met up with some old coworkers and I was like, after lunch, I was like, oh, I want to make a run. So I bought stuff, right? Because I was like a kid in a candy shop. So I bought stuff. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the things that I bought. And I don't know why it popped into my head. I have no clue what made me be like, Amira, buy a pocket pussy.
Buy a pocket pussy.
I don't know. It's just how my brain works. But like, so they had like an array of pocket pussies. Like some of them were some of them were like electronic, so like you could like control, I guess, like the like it did stuff while your dick is in it, right?
Ow.
And so and then they even had ones that like stuck to the wall, so I
wait, like the dicks that stick to the wall?
Yeah,
like
but
a suction cup?
Yeah, but it was like a pocket pussy that stuck to the wall.
What? Could you imagine walking in and seeing somebody fucking a wall? Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Sorry.
But I bought the little $13 one. Like it's like just a little, you know, I didn't want anything extravagant.
Damn it, you should have brought, well, you already used it.
Yeah, I was going to say no. You should just give us the link on Amazon, bitch. That's it.
Yes. So, yeah, so I used it on old boy. Mm-hmm. And like he was like, so I had to use lube. And I will suggest, like, if you're going to, I would suggest using like either a natural lube or like if you're not gonna do anything fantastic with it, just regular lube is fine, like water based or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I put it on him, right? So he was like, first he was like, Bumba Clyde. Amira, wait a minute. He just had a whole thing.
The thing is, it's so funny because I can picture him doing that.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I could so see.
So,
yes, that's fucking.
So, but it was a short one, so like it like if you put it all the way down to the base of the shaft, like the head stuck out. Mm-hmm. So like I gave him head while I was using it. Ooh. So it had like the whole, and then like you can adjust like the grip of it because I mean, you know, squeeze it tighter. It you know, so it had I still had the whole flick of the wrist. Bad boy going on, and then like, you know, just you know, do the tip, put the tip in your mouth. Like it was, I
was about to say, I'm excited.
Yeah, it was. So like after,
I want some,
and I will. I mean, it paid off for me because I mean, he fucked the shit out of me after that. I was like, yes. But when he got in the shower, like he's taking a shower, and he was like, Amira. He's like, I don't know what that was you used on me. He was like, but oh my God, like. Yes.
Okay, pocket pussy suck 2000
for $13. Hello.
I'm telling you.
Hello, changing nigga life.
I need y'all to get one.
Okay.
Like,
look, you hear me? Okay.
She got bae right now. She probably about to go make a beeline. There's one up on 36th Street too.
Like,
and I think it's black owned.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's on 36th Street. I've gone in there before.
Oh, shout out to them. Hello. Maybe we can.
We should go there afterwards.
Yes.
That'll be fun. I'm about to be giving out pocket pussies. It was
like
amazing.
literally, like you get a pocket pussy and you get a pocket pussy.
What if we got
you? What if we got pocket pussies?
See,
So
all them creative juices are flowing today.
So John, would you like a pocket pussy?
he said
No.
I think we should gift him one anyway.
his wife is gonna be like,
What the? Yeah.
his wife's gonna be like,
You could say you saw it on a porn.
he's like, yeah, right, no.
He's like, what? Not happening. Like, not happening at all. Wait, what are you doing?
Producer John.
Oh, only our producer. He's the best. He does things to make us laugh.
Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
So we are talking about what is like submissive, right? And like, what the fuck does that even mean? So, I mean, I feel like you want to take a break and come back into it, or
Yeah,
do
sure.
okay? All right. So we're gonna take a break, but we're gonna talk about what that actually means to be submissive. The definition of men submissive versus women submissive. When is it appropriate? All that bullshit.
Shit's making my head hurt already.
Already, like,
I know.
Anyway, y'all, we'll be back. All right, everybody. So welcome back. So yeah, we learned over the break that I do not have mega knees and that Amira has spit water everywhere and talking about why I don't have mega knees. Trying to literally like her
Still
eyes
can't
are
get her shit together.
like I'm getting old, bitch.
I'm
Kind of
good.
cramping everything, like everything, girl. Trying to hop on the D and fucked around and fucked up my whole right side. Like my knee hurt. I got a cramp in the left
So
side.
was it
Used to
worth it?
again.
Of course it was. Like the I guess the motion of the mega knees worked very well during the time, but now a bitch had to put some ice on it and some motherfucking CBD cream this morning. Fucking hurt. Anyways, all right. So back to this bullshit about being submissive and all this other stuff. So let me tell you where this came from. Like seriously, because it's just too much. So I was watching a clip. And so originally, let me take y'all back even further. Originally, men are always talking about wifey material, right? So like,
Yeah.
what is wifey material? Da, 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 da. So to me, I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's such a stereotype, right? So then I see this clip, and it's real short. And I don't know if you, oh God, what is their name? Like the Gemini and the something podcast. I'm so sorry. I will tag it. Make sure we tag it in the comments. But it is Mr. J Hill, and I forgot his girlfriend's name. She is gorgeous. I can't think of their names. I'll find out. But they have a podcast as well, and they were talking. They had a guest on there, and he mentioned something about being, women don't know how to be quiet or something
And
to
not
that
talk
extent,
back.
and not talk back. That's what it was. Exactly. So the girl was like, wait a minute, you are not my fucking father. Like, who is talking back? Because the only person that I know that could ever possibly talk back is a child. It's a lot of grown ass people in the room. What the fuck you mean?
Right.
So then his girlfriend starts, like, they bicker a lot. So the girlfriend starts going in, like, talk back. Like, she looking at him like, nigga, talk back. So it became this whole big thing.
Yeah.
The other girl's boyfriend is sitting there like, oh shit is about to go down. He's not really saying too much, but obviously, So I see this clip.
Gemini, Scorpio.
That's exactly what it is. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, producer John. He be on it. So I sent it to the ladies, and I was just thinking, like, what does that mean? So our thought process is like, what does it mean to be submissive, right? Like, what is the whole?
Well, you hear a lot of men talk about, like, this is why these women aren't getting chose because they don't know how to be submissive.
And they talk too much.
Y'all know I'm about a definition.
Go ahead. Can you please define?
Go ahead.
Please do it.
Because when we think about submissive, we think about the dictionary definition of submissive. But I guess, like, people switch. Maybe they mean something different.
Do they?
I'm trying to give them. So,
yeah, I think so.
It's someone that's submissive is inclined or ready to yield to authority, or is unresistingly or humbly obedient.
See, that's what I think of when I think of submissive.
Yeah, me too.
Obedient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yielding to authority, that's like, okay, first of all, who is your authority? That's number one.
Right. Because after I become like grown, you know what I'm saying, I don't feel like I got no fucking authority. However, like, okay, so my thought process on being submissive is different. So we're going to
so you were saying like
bring it back in.
We hear a lot of talk about
about, you know, men saying that, you know, women don't get chose, or y'all don't know how to be women nowadays because, you know, you're too masculine, you're not submissive enough, you don't know how to submit to your man, you don't listen to your man, blah, blah, blah. And this is why y'all are single, or y'all are having unsuccessful relationships. You can't let a man be a man. But
where the fuck was the man in the first place? This is where we are. Like, skirt, pause. Like, this is the problem.
Secondly, why do I have to be submissive in order for you to be a man?
Cello, number 2. Actually, number 1. Let's switch them around. And then number 2, like, nigga, you got to show up as that first.
Right.
Like, you got to show up as that first.
And now a lot of people refer back to religion to guide them as far as what it means to be submissive. And when we look at religion
has also put us in a lot of tragedy.
A submissive woman is synonymous with a virtuous woman, meaning someone of principle that's modest and honorable.
So like the faces that, like, I can imagine what the video looks like, because I'm just literally like,
so I
cannot.
I mean, there's a lot of issues with this whole idea of submission. Anyway, like, where do you think the idea even came from?
So I think that honestly, that's probably where it came from, like religion, particularly probably Christianity. I mean, I know like Islam definitely has, like, it depends. Like, for Islam, when it comes to like gender roles, I think it's very like regional. Because some places have very strict gender roles and others don't. But, and then there's also like always that interpretation with Islam. Like people always interpret things a certain way. Regardless, I really think it did come from religion. I think, like you said, you know, having an honorable, virtuous, whatever woman, and somehow there's probably mentioned in like the Quran or the Bible about, you know, like a woman being submissive. But I just think that men have harped on that and interpreted that to use it to their advantage and to to further the patriarchy.
Thank you. And like, let's keep it all the way real. In those times, right? Like I'm about to like take it back a little bit. I feel like, let me not preach on the podcast today, but I do feel like there was a certain time in life where men ain't never, like, if you really think about it, like, men have always been like, even down to like having multiple partners and things like that, right? So I think a lot of people think that that's the idea of being dominant in a space, right? So then you are, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, back then they was handling shit. They were doing things, but they might have handled like 4 or 5 different fucking families.
But it was more of like a protector role.
Yes.
It wasn't necessarily like, you know, I'm gonna dominate you and I'm the head.
You do
nigga,
what I say.
I'm the head nigga in charge.
Right.
It was more or less like, I'm a provider, I'm a protector, because like shit out here is like the wild, wild west.
So let me go ahead and hold this down. And then I think in that happening, like, a lot of men have changed that into, well, I could do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have whatever I want to have and do whatever I want to do as long as I'm providing for you, right? So then that, in turn, me dealing with that is being submissive to you. And if I step up and say, like, no, that's not okay, you're not going to fuck on me, like, you're not in multiple ways, then I'm wrong and I'm not submitting to my man. I guess that, to tie that back together, that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm like, but what are you bringing to my table to make me even feel like I want to submit to that, right? Like, that's some bullshit. I'm not about to, like, that's crazy. The thought is even crazy.
Like, the idea of a patriarchy and just a world, you know, dominated by the theories and opinions of man is not a new thing, right? So, I mean, and women have time and time again been in the role of, I need to kind of play the role if I'm going to, you know what I mean? If I'm going to survive, if I'm going to make it, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, when you fast forward to now, asking
nigga,
for...
please. You guessed it. But no,
if we take this literal meaning of submission, I mean, asking for someone to submit is kind of like, what?
Boy,
because,
wah, wah.
Because,
like,
again,
no.
and I think a lot of women's argument is, what am I submitting to?
Exactly. That's the question. Like, what am I submitting to? Your bullshit? Like, you not
like
coming...
Because at the end of the day, I'm working as well, so I'm bringing in equal or more. I'm contributing to the livelihood of our household, like equally or more. So why am I taking on additional responsibilities as far as submitting? Because let's be for real, I mean, why? What's the benefit for me? And I think that's where we are. Like, why am I doing this? Or who am I submitting to? Like, are you leading?
See, that's the thing. And like, even if aside from the money, like the financial part of it, right? Like, yeah, okay. Like, I might make more money than you, but that don't mean that you're not the one leading my household. So that was something a little bit different. Like, yeah, okay. Like, we can flex a little bit. Like, you could be a little, I don't know. I feel like if you can lead my whole family, like you've done a lot of things. Like, the money thing is one thing, yes. But I don't know. I feel like it's different for men these days, that what I'm seeing in our like age group that aren't married or whatever, right? They're totally excluding them. But like, I just don't feel like they even know what that role is like. Like, what is it for you to like really be able to like lead your wife and your kids and you guys be like this successful family, and you put yourself in a space to where like what I kind of say is like final say. I ain't gonna lie, I'm Southern and old school. I like that kind of shit. But I don't want you to feel like you're taking my identity away from me. Like, you're not taking me, because obviously I'm not a submissive person. But in my household and shit like that, like, I don't want to always have to be the one that's carrying the shit, because if that's the case,
I feel like I
can do it by myself.
A lot of women don't want to be able to relinquish some of their responsibility.
Like,
absolutely.
And then you want me to be like, and like, to me, that's my idea of like being submissive, right? Like, I don't mind to like kind of let you do your thing and step back and whatever, but I also
you're
need
the subject matter expert.
So that was
situation.
So that's where I was gonna go. Like, I was gonna say, like, I think in terms of being submissive, like, you have to play on that person's strengths, right?
Exactly.
So if, like, for instance, OG is really into cars. Like, never really
I'm gonna
had
step the fuck back out of there.
Right. So he's
It's
like, you need to do X, Y, Z with your car. Let me take your car to go get bop, bop, bop. Okay, cool.
But don't be telling me about no floor plans. like, you feel me? Like, straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I'll let you do it. You know, but like, I feel like submitting, okay, so like yielding to authority, and what was the other thing?
Humbly obedient.
Ooh.
Just makes my chest hurt. Humbly obedient. Like, do you want a slave or not?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like being submissive just means that you have the ability to recognize and accept each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You play upon that.
Yes.
Like, men can be submissive to women. Women can be submissive to men. And it doesn't have to be a fucking power struggle in your relationship.
Exactly.
So I think that's, like, where all of this comes from, is that, like, these days, I think the patriarchy tells men that they are the providers and they're supposed to be the head niggas in charge and they're supposed to be all these things. But with women having financial freedom right now, having education, those things aren't necessarily, I think it makes men feel insecure about themselves. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so there's certain men out here that want to flex on women, talking about, you need to be submissive to me. Well, if you aren't paying all my bills, if I don't have the opportunity to wake up every day and go to yoga and not have to worry about my bills and not have to go to work, then there's no point. I ain't submitting
to shit. Like, basically, dead ass though. That's exactly the point.
So, I know, like, I don't think that, like, men are taught, like, I think, like, women are groomed to be mothers and wives.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So let's get to, that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
Continue.
Preach, child.
So, you know, like, I think that women are groomed to be mothers and wives. Like, our identities are based around, like, whether or not you're going to have a kid, whether or not, you know, you can be a good wife to your husband, you know, whether or not you can even get a husband, whether or not you're even, appealing enough to, like, get a man's attention and have a man choose you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're groomed to get chose, to act accordingly to get chose, right?
What?
Whereas men, and there's that one, like, African feminist that wrote that book. She's like, Beyonce put a clip of her stuff, like, in one of her songs, but she says this, like, men are, like, groomed to like focus on their accomplishments,
Yeah.
to focus on being the best person that they can be, like being the best athlete, being the best, you know,
That's
like
right.
corporate lawyer, whatever it is, being the best drug dealer, like Ghost said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that they can be.
Everything's a competition. Like
It is.
yeah.
And everything's a competition, whether it's like, you know, getting the most bitches or getting whatever it is. It's always
whatever their strength is. Whatever the fuck that may be.
You know, but like, being a good man, being a good husband, being a good father, when is that always ever at the forefront for them?
Exactly. And
outside of providing,
and that's what I was about to say.
Exactly.
Because they equate being a good man, being a good husband to financial stability. And while yes, that is part of it,
it's not all.
you can't beat me up just because I got a roof over my head and you got my bills paid don't mean that I'm walking around this bitch like Mary Poppins because you think that, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to treat me like shit, or you don't. Yeah, not even that. And sometimes I've learned in my older days. So in my younger days, right, like I would think that men just kind of ain't shit, da-da-da-da. As I get older, it's exactly what you said. They're not groomed for that, number one. Like, they're just really not. And then it takes a different type of man to want to, like, learn how to be good to his woman.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I think it's a maturity level too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I think that when men reach a certain maturity level, they're like, okay, now I'm ready to be a good husband or a good man or whatever.
Groomed from
Exactly.
And even when, you know, in raising my daughter, you know, I find that every cartoon she watches, every movie is groomed to her wanting this husband, wanting this family.
Cinderella, and even all the Disney movies.
Right, like even when like buying her toys, you know what I mean? Like it's all, you know, what little boy, you know, his parents are moving toward getting him like a little kitchenette. Or the little vacuum, or the little shopping cart with the little food in it. Like
this nigga outside playing with G.I. Joes, and we figuring out about Ken and Barbie's love affair at 5 and 6 years old. They don't give a shit like that, and they literally are groomed that way. So different things are important.
And I think unintentionally, like we focus on, you know, we focus a lot on like that whole you know, well, when you give me grandbabies or when you have kids, you're gonna.
People might not want kids.
My daughter, she was like, I ain't having no kids. I said, oh, okay. I
that's right.
asked her why.
Definitely yours.
I didn't ask her why. I didn't ask her, oh, you're not gonna give me no grandbabies? And even when we talk about stuff, because you know, she takes little digs at me because she was like, well, I mean, even if I have kids, it's not like they're gonna have any aunts or uncles. She's 8.
She be tearing your ass up.
Yeah, she's 8. But even, you know, when we have these conversations, I still say, if you decide to have children.
That's right.
Because I don't want that to be the focal point. But unintentionally, it becomes a focal point. Like when you get married, who says she's going to get married? What if she doesn't, you know? But it's like, and I know, like, I was groomed to be a submissive and obedient wife. And I got married very young. And who I was as an individual was not a part of that marriage, but who and what I was expected to do and who I was expected to be was what was a part of that marriage. Because my aunts and my dad and my mom, like they came from that role of that's what you do. You get married and you have babies and your husband provides. I mean, if you want to work, okay. But I mean, that's not the focal point. I cook, I clean, and we know I was doing all of it.
Had a job, an internship, was going to school, and was pregnant.
And was cooking and cleaning. Now, I will say, like, as far as shared roles and responsibilities, you know, my ex-husband did a really good job with that. Like, I feel like that was like that was like a plus.
Yeah.
But there are so many women that are applauded for going above and beyond, working, being pregnant, you know, working multiple jobs, coming home, taking care of the household. Like, that's applauded. That's not life.
Right.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, in your situation, like you said, at least he was able and willing to share those roles and responsibilities, whereas there's a lot of men out there that have that expectation that I don't give a fuck what you got going on. These are your responsibilities because you're a woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
all that other shit will stop because you'll make sure, like, think about how many people that say that their dreams or they never did this or that because they decided to raise a family or they decided to do this with their kids or they decided to do, you know what I mean? Like all these different things and they never went forward because
And I mean, we're not saying there's anything wrong with if you want a traditional household with a husband and 2.5 kids and the dog and the picket white fence. That is absolutely,
because I kind of want that.
Right, exactly. But you're not going to be barefoot and pregnant.
Thank you.
You still have career goals and aspirations.
Right, and
you know
know
what I mean?
that before you go into that space. Like, you know that about this man or about this woman or whatever the case may be when you go into that type of situation, right? Like, you can't get married and expect like things like that to change. If more so, you're going to be expected because now you're a wife, you're a title, like you're a locked in type of, you know what I mean? Like you're almost expected to do these things. So like if he's not meeting you halfway before you even get married,
yeah, no, for sure.
you know what I mean? Like that white
happen.
picket fence dream ain't for every man, which is one of the reasons why I don't have it yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm working toward it, but I'm just saying like that shit ain't for everybody.
I mean, I think we're all on the same page where we say that men aren't really groomed to be husbands or leaders.
So this is the thing. Okay, so I don't think they're brought up to be groomed as. I don't think they're groomed as husbands.
Right.
But as far as leaders go, I don't think they're groomed as leaders in relationships. In relationships. I think they assume the role of leaders in relationships because of the patriarchy. I think they assume the roles out here in the world. I think they assume roles as leaders because of the patriarchy.
Absolutely.
Because they've been groomed to think that that's their position.
Yep.
They've been groomed to think that like, hey, I belong here and this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they are groomed as leaders generally, but when I think when it comes to the household, they aren't necessarily sat down and really explicitly taught like, okay, this is what a good husband like is supposed to be. Yes, he may be a provider, like, but he also needs to have
They're
emotional,
tangible leaders, not emotional leaders.
Exactly. You also need to have emotional intelligence. You also need to, you know what I'm saying, need to be aware of your feelings, your spouse's feelings, your kids' feelings. Like there's so many other things, you know what I'm saying, have some ambition and like just be.
And then they're like, that's a lot. Like, nigga, what the fuck? What do you think
women do?
Like, what do you think this is? Like, this is a part of shared responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, this is a part, yes, it's a fucking lot. It's a lot.
And I think that men are also groomed to have that selfishness. Like all of us have been in situations where we've complained that a man is selfish.
Yeah.
Why? Men will tell you straight up, it is all about self-preservation. Like they will not sacrifice anything. Well, I'm not going to say they won't, but like men are less likely to sacrifice themselves or the things they like for other people.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was in that for like 10 years, bro. Like that, my last relationship was exactly like that.
And I think, again, unintentionally, like when we have these conversations, right? Like when someone's not happy in a relationship, like instantly is, well, maybe he's going through this, or maybe he's going through that, or maybe you should try, you know, X, Y, and Z. It's a lot more effort on your part. And I just had a conversation with a guy the other day, and I was like, you know, I think it's amazing how guys could be like, well, my needs aren't being met, so I'm going to go. But we're not groomed to do that at all.
And a lot of times can't. Well, I guess we could, but like you think about where the kids going to go. That's automatic thought. Or like,
but we're groomed to fix it.
Absolutely.
Fix everybody else's problems.
Let's get like think about, have you remember like when plastic surgery became big, right? And like that was one of the things that so many housewives were doing was like getting botched because they felt like their, you know, husbands, or they were actually like telling them like, you need plastic surgery, you need this. Think about how many, if we was to go tell somebody that they needed dick implants,
we would be the worst.
We would be the worst. But no, I'm being
right, because women go and get their vaginas rejuvenated
and tightened up. And like, bitch, you should have been steaming and using them pearls. You wouldn't have to do all that.
Well, like you go get your tummy tucked. You go get your boobs fixed. You go get all this stuff because we're hypersexualized.
Yep.
And our bodies. What did we talk about in the last episode? Our bodies are for their pleasure.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not for our own.
Yep. And women actually do that. Like they go out and
because it fucks with your self-esteem.
Absolutely.
And
so
you're
it's like
insecure, and so you have to, and you don't want like, and then this goes back to us being groomed, like that our self-worth and our self-esteem is based on a man's fucking opinion of our physical bodies and who we are. Like that's just.
I mean, seriously though, that's some real shit.
Okay.
So, do you think that submission has a place in a relationship at all?
Yes, yes, and yes. Yes.
I mean, I think it does. Just like I said earlier, I think like if you want to play off of each other's strengths and weaknesses, like we both can't. For instance, the wolf packs. Y'all know I'm a little Nat Geo nerd, right? So with the wolves, they run in a pack. The weakest ones are at the front. The strongest ones are in the back.
Yep.
You'll see the alpha male and the alpha female, one, they're in line or they're kind of like this to each other. So, like, I think everyone has to know their role.
Yes.
And I think the roles are flexible. I don't think the roles are stringent, but I think that everybody does need to have their role and understand their role and their position and then like move accordingly.
Yes, I agree with you 110%. And that's what I mean by submissiveness in my relationships, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that it might be a time where, guess what? Like, I can't handle all this shit right now. And I can't walk in the front, right? So then he's able to like ebb and flow with me and pick that up. Whereas when he's going through something on the back end, he'll come in and let me pick that up. As women, we always the one picking the shit up. And don't ever have somebody to kind of like, you know what I mean? Like a balance scale. Like I kind of want like that balance, because it might be sometimes where, like you said, subject matter experts or just certain things that, like you said, being able to know your role and know your place and be okay in that, but then also being able to step up or step back when necessary.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that is so important. Like that's the goal in life for a relationship for me.
I just think that we're made to complement each other. Like,
yes,
like you guys said, like where am I weak? Exactly.
Literally.
And we're not getting that. Right?
No.
It's just not happening
That's the
way.
definition of submissive, I think. In 2020, let's open it up, because I guess we still have this idea of submission prehistoric.
I just want to get rid of the word. Period. It doesn't belong in our relationship. We complement each other. Where you're weak, I'm strong.
True. That's weird. That's real.
I could fuck with that.
I mean,
yeah.
and then to me, it's about compromising, not necessarily. I mean, I don't know.
No, I like it.
It's
Go on, sister.
It's about compromising.
Just fuck the word. What do you need? You don't.
Yeah,
need
like
the
who
word.
needs to be submissive
Because
about
when
anything?
you look at the real definition of it, unresistingly obedient. Like, come on, bro.
Like, fuck.
Because
you.
even if you are the subject matter expert, I'm still gonna have questions.
Yeah, and I'm going to still ask, and I'm going to still be that person, and I'm going to still be like, yap, 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 and then you're going to probably have to tell me to go to fucking one and mind my business, and then it's going to be fine. Like, I'm okay with all of that.
No, but that's a real thing, though, because I have noticed that there's men, like, when you do have follow-up questions, you want to know more information.
Yeah. They're hot.
They're like, yeah, they get tight. Like, why can't you just listen? Why can't you just submit? Well, nigga, I have questions. I have a brain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
or
learning
what the fuck
too.
you said ain't make no sense.
Exactly.
Period. So I'm
You know what I'm
asking.
saying?
I have
So,
questions.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, like just like if you are let's say if a guy is like his financial knowledge, his financial literacy might be stronger. So you say, oh, let's invest in this. I'm going to ask questions about what we're
when it
investing
comes
in.
to money, these niggas
Or
be
just
scamming. So.
They
So
do.
I have questions. You know what I mean?
Or just not even that. I have questions for clarity.
Right. Or like, I mean, even if you are like, you know more about cars than I do, I'm still going to have
questions.
I got questions. And it's not questioning your level of expertise. I'm the person that's like, teach me, nigga, teach me. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Or
know?
right, or just like I'm intrigued by stuff like that. So okay,
Or if you tell me this is the best move, I want to be able to have an intellectual conversation about whether this is really the.
So also too, it contributes to your deductive reasoning, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you understand why if you understand the rationale and the logic behind whatever he's saying, and you have more information about it, next time you can take that information and go make your own fucking decision.
Exactly.
Make an intelligent decision and an informed decision.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that I don't need you anymore, but
Or even still, that don't mean I'm not going to consult you about it. That don't mean that I'm not going to, but I might not just have the fucking questions that I had before, because guess what? You answered those because I needed clarity. I'm not questioning your ability or questioning what you're saying or the truth behind it. I really didn't know, which is why this came up in the first place, because I wouldn't have asked your ass if I knew. Like so, literally, like I'd be thinking, like, what are you tight for about? Because I asked you a question, like, just do what I said. Nigga, you guessed it. Like, that's
you
not
got the wrong
bitch.
one.
Like, that is not going to happen.
I want to use this as an example, like with my daughter, right? So I'm the emotional one. I'm the one with the social work background, right? And so most of the time when it comes to my daughter's, she's a girl. And so like she's a kid. She just does certain shit. And dad is like, well, how do we deal with this? And so I might have one suggestion, but that doesn't mean that he's going to follow it blindly. If he doesn't necessarily agree or he doesn't get it, he's going to ask these follow-up questions.
Exactly.
Do I get tight and think that he's saying that I'm a bad mom? No.
Right.
But
that's good.
I allow
That's a good
for
analogy.
an open conversation about things.
Right.
If he has suggestions as far as her education, You know what I mean? Well, I think that we should take this route as far as, like, you know, whether we should get her a tutor, whether it's private school versus public school. If he makes a decision, we're going to have a dialogue.
That's right.
Why do you think that this is best? Is this the best thing in the long run as far as, like, you know, financially? Can we really afford to keep, you know, sending her to, you know, private schools? Do, you know, so.
But y'all got the best co-parenting ever.
Right.
Like,
but what I'm
y'all
saying,
are
like,
amazing,
he's not taking it as I'm questioning his ability as a father.
Right. Absolutely.
It's a dialogue.
And it's like, even like if you work on a team, you're expected, like, I want the person in my life to be like my team player. Like, you feel me? Like, I want us to also be able to have conversations. Like, I want us to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to always feel like that. So I'm telling him or you telling me, like, I don't know.
What type of men do you think, though, get tight?
Inadequate.
When they really don't know.
Yeah.
So do you think that they are assuming this dominant position because of their insecurities?
Yes, and if you pop that pin that's in their chest, that shit would be like, phew, and like all the air would come out of them and they wouldn't be nothing to be dominant about. Absolutely.
So also, okay, follow-up question. So, like, in your experience, men that have like the good, like the open dialogue and, you know, aren't insecure and stuff like that, do you feel like do they try to assume those like dominant roles, or are they okay with being a partner?
Women.
They're okay with being the ones that are. I think they're good with being a partner.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where they tried to be like the dominant person in the situation or the relationship?
Yes.
I've had.
Yeah, and I feel like it was warranted though. Like, I ain't even go fake. Like, in that space, it was like, I didn't realize it at the time, but it was like, sorry, my bad. But it's like, it's no, bruh. And like, this is no, and you're not hearing me. So once you calm down and hear me, then I'm gonna tell you why it's no. So it was a good space. Like, it was a good force of being.
But you need motherfuckers to check you, so I don't really know if I can use.
Yeah, you're right. Let me be quiet over here in the corner, and then I liked it, and then, you know, he got some ass afterwards.
I was gonna say, and then she had the mega knees on that dick.
Yes, and then that's why my knees hurt, like, now. Anyways. Let me shit the fuck up and sit in the corner.
I think that when we say, like, when we have this aversion to being submissive, it's not that we don't want a guy that can take the lead when needed. Like, we don't want a soft guy. Like, I think all of us around the table, we agree, like, no, you can't be soft with us.
Period.
Like, it just doesn't.
You over.
No. But at the same time, again, this whole humbly obedient, to me, that's like equals to following you blindly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in my brain, that's slave.
Or in my brain, that's like you some old like religious deity that I'm supposed to just be like idolizing because like I'm just supposed to put all this faith in you. Like, nigga, no.
I mean,
like, seriously, I'm not idolizing you, bro.
When it comes with submissive being synonymous with virtuous, I mean, I might not be modest, but I'm still principled and honorable.
Facts.
Just because I'm not submissive.
I might have my ass out every now and then.
I mean, you can X out the modest part, but you know.
But even at the end of the day, like, I think all things are like subjective to change, right? Like, it's not the same as it was. Like, it's not. Every generation is different. Everybody does things different. So get that certain things need to evolve with it. And this idea of this submissive, virtuous woman and all these things, like, I'm totally here for that. But I mean, damn. Like, they was also telling my great-great-great-grandmother shit, the same shit. Like, come on, guys. Because y'all have not held up y'all's end of the deal for us to be these submissive, virtuous-ass women.
I'm virtuous.
I'm virtuous, but no, in their mindset. You understand? In that mind, right? Like, in their... Yeah, I'm gonna claim virtuous. I ain't claiming submissive.
I don't even know what the fuck virtuous means.
So do you guys consider yourselves submissive?
Bitch.
I was about to be like, what?
Okay, for all intents and purposes of the show, we're going to say, fuck no, I'm not submissive. Y'all already know that. Like, I am the head bitch in charge, and I'm the head nigga in charge. Like,
she is. Yeah, she a whole nigga. She
a whole one. Like,
OG last night was like, yo, you were straight up a nigga. Like, now I get it. He was like, you a nigga. He was like, we got to figure this out because it's
like this is not working.
We both can't be the head nigga in charge. So
But I like how there's still a dialogue about this.
Exactly. And
like,
let me ask you, are you, ooh, I don't mean to like put you on around the red table, but I'm just saying like, but no, seriously, is that a thought for you now to kind of be like, okay, because I feel like to an extent, I kind of like the fact that he was on some shit like, so for one, the dialogue is wonderful. And then two, like
what you about to do?
Like, yeah, or like, so what's up? Because we both did. Like, yeah, so what you finna do? And I like that about him with you to an extent. Because I feel like,
so
are you thinking about it?
No.
Yes, my nigga. Anyway.
So, okay, like I said, he's into cars, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, the car thing, yeah, you got it. But, like, there's just still something, like, the thing is, he's hedging, and I can see it. Like, he just literally be like, you know how, like, when you double dutch and you be like, yeah. Like, that's how he is, because he wants to, like, take control and be like, all right, this is what we going to do. And then, but he knows that I'm not no lay down or get down type bitch. Like,
but at the end of the day, though, like, I feel like that's kind of hot to an extent. So, like, that could make a good space for something.
I mean, for certain things, yes, it's okay. But
yeah.
Like, he walked in and was like, you didn't pick this stuff up yet. It's been sitting here for 2 days. Nigga, this is my house.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so he's like, no, you know what? You're right. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You just wanted
but
to see,
I don't know. I feel like that's okay because you can check him and he can check you. Yeah, because like
okay, we can check each other.
Yeah.
Yes, we have been checking each other.
Yeah.
But like that shit ain't gonna last too much longer because you know what he said about? He said something to me the other day and I turned around and looked at him. He was like, "Yeah, I saw the Baltimore come out."
It's like, well, once again, but I thought like don't.
But I mean. I want to be submissive. Mm-hmm. So, like, all jokes aside, like, I do want, like Court said earlier, I want to relinquish my power. I want to relinquish my authority. And I even told him this, like, I'm tired.
Yes, bruh.
I'm tired of being the head nigga in charge. Like, sometimes, yes, like, it just comes naturally to me. But in other times, it's like, I need somebody else to take over and take control.
Yes.
And I have no problem doing that. It's okay.
Right.
But, like, you really got to be, like, that nigga in order for me to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think for us, a lot of times, too, it's a matter of trust, right?
Yes.
Like, one...
Ooh,
can you, like, if I give you the reins, can you drive? Like, can you handle it?
Are you gonna turn my horse over, nigga?
Right. Not only that, I need the respect to still be mutual. I need the how you see me and whether you value me to still be mutual. And my thing is like I can be submissive, but I have this issue of relinquishing control because I need to know like you still gonna act right. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like that's the thing for me.
That is valid because you give a nigga a little bit and they take a lot of it, and then here we are, and now I gotta bring it back in. Like you
said though, like they will, like then it's like they try to flex on you afterwards.
Yeah, right. And that's to me relinquishing the control is me being vulnerable. I think that's all of us being vulnerable.
Absolutely.
So, like, if I'm going to be vulnerable with you, can I trust that you're going to do the right thing with it? You know what I mean? And then are you going to drive us in the right direction? Again, if you're the subject matter expert, I'm going to give you that. Whatever. I'm going to listen. I'm still going to ask questions, and you're going to get challenged. Like, I'm going to just, and not saying that I know better, but I need to know that this, plan you have is sound. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with letting you be the subject matter expert, but relinquishing control, it's a thing. Like,
yeah, and I definitely can't like give you all the control, right? But I feel like, I have to say this. I guess I'm gonna just keep it 100. Like, in the space that I'm in now with this individual that I'm with right now, like I kind of feel like I don't question that. So I think when the shit like really feels like something, right? Like I don't have that question at all. Like I feel like even right now, even though it's new, even though it's this, if it was something that I really needed or some whatever, or even still now, like he the nigga be like, you know why you acting like that? Because you ain't ate today. Like, why don't you need to sit down and chill out and eat. Like that type of, he's very in tune to like when he needs to kind of like intervene and when he need to be like, Courtney, shut the fuck up, or whenever he need to be like, just let her do her thing. Like she good, right? She just busy or she moving around, whatever the case may be. And I guess I'm thinking like specific to me, but I feel like if it was to ever be a situation, I feel like, yes, I would trust him. And that scares the shit out of me, first of all. But anyways, I was not ready. But yeah, though, like for real, I feel like so whenever you do find now, am I ready to do that? I didn't say that, right? I ain't said that. But I said if it was
I'm sorry.
I ain't said that. It ain't what I said. But I mean, seriously, like I feel like if it was something to where like
theoretically, yes.
Like seriously, right? But like right now, you know, like we still trying to like kind of figure that out. But I do feel like that if it was something, I don't feel like I have any hesitation. So I wonder if it does come as you meet people to show you that, like, right? Like he showed me something.
Yeah, that's
first.
exactly what I was gonna say. So like he's giving you that confidence and that trust, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying, without flexing on you, like, or like maybe flexing on you in a way that like you will receive it well.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas like I totally get what Amira is saying in that,
like, don't be flexing on me, nigga.
But like she hit the nail on the head for me. Also, it's like a trust thing. Like, do I trust you in general? Do I trust you that you are going to like steer us in the right direction and that you know what you're doing?
That's right.
Like, if you haven't established that trust and that confidence in me in like subtle ways and maybe maybe direct and indirect ways, then nah, bruh, ain't gonna be submitting over here.
Right. And then I'm gonna be honest. I relinquished some shit to somebody. Can we talk about it? And literally have never felt like so lost of control. Like that's some shit I will never ever do again, right? Like y'all know I ain't gotta bring that shit up because you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers is petty and we don't want motherfuckers to be trying to sue because we was talking about
defamation of character
because they just petty, right? Like I'm not saying that was even a conversation, but I'm just saying any motherfucking way we're not gonna kill the vibe. But I've been there, so that's a big step for me to be like, yo, I feel like I could trust that situation because I was fucked up, like in a very fucked up situation because I relinquished that to somebody, but deep down in my spirit I fucking knew better.
And that's the thing.
So as women, like we always talk.
We talk about this shit though all the time, and we pointed it out on season 1 or season 2.
That intuition.
That intuition comes from your wound. Like we have that. You know what I'm saying? In that is your sacral chakra.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is that me? Mm-hmm. Like that. Like listen to that shit.
Like dead ass because I knew. Yeah. I knew when I did it. I knew I was driving home like sick. Like literally got out the car and just threw up everywhere.
You just knew.
I just knew. I was like, man, like my whole life is just fucked up right now. Like, or from like I got to clean this up, and I can't even enjoy what I just did.
All right. Anyways, so final thoughts on not being somebody's slave.
Fuck that shit. We're not doing it.
We just gonna get rid of the word submissive.
And I'm damn sure not being humbly obedient. That shit is dead. It's not happening.
But I will be your partner, and I will let you be the subject matter expert. Let you be the subject matter expert.
Let you. That's funny.
And I'm okay with relinquishing some control with trust in time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes, trust is amazing.
And we all want to be in that position. None of us wake up like, I just want to be in control of everything.
Yeah,
I have to handle everything.
Let me strap on my dick today.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't want to do that, right? Yeah. Like, we do that shit because we feel like we have to, and then you can't come in on your bullshit. So the takeaway is, too, is like, no, you're probably not going to find a woman in 2020 that's, like, super just submissive. It's probably just not going to happen.
Like, out the gate.
Right. Just not going to happen. But no, at all, because I think what you said is it's compromise. It's not submissive at all, right? Like, you can't even go into that thought.
That like that and are okay with it and want to be, there are women out there like that.
Only in the bedroom. Only in the bedroom.
Yeah, I don't know about that part either. Y'all already know.
Here she go, because she like to beat her man. Anyways, guys, until next time. No, I'm just kidding. No, but for real, y'all know where to find us. Check us out on our social media pages, Pro Bitch Podcast. The I Am Bitch is a #1. Also, y'all, we are on motherfucking YouTube. Check us out. You get to watch all this crazy foolishness.
Yes, look at our pretty faces.
Yes, because that we are. I was watching the other day like, is that us? The fuck? Anyway. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see y'all.
Later.